So you're out. You're in the flow. You just met her. She's laughing. It's actually going well. There's actually a connection there. It's just two strangers syncing up like it actually means something. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, you feel a heavy hand land on your shoulder and you hear, "Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? How's it going?" And some big, loud dude forces himself into the space with a very overbearing energy, let's just say. This guy, he's not here to be friendly. He's not here to meet you. he's here to redirect you. He's there to pull you away from his girl, whatever the fuck that means. He's there to make himself the cause and you the effect. Now, what happens here? Most people, quite frankly, they'll take the bait, right? They turn, they engage the guy. "Oh, hey, bro, what's going on? Oh, hey, bro. Start saying a bunch of bullshit with this guy. And just like that, they've left her reality and they've now entered his. The connection dies, and validation-seeking reactivity does what it always does. It kills. But not you. You don't flinch, nor do you appease this fucking dode. You don't break that thread of connection. Your eyes stay locked on her. That little smirk stays on your face. You acknowledge the guy without actually engaging him. Maybe you give him a slow nod. "That's awesome, dude." Just a tiny flicker of recognition before turning back to your frame. Unreactive, unbothered, unshakable. This is cold God energy. Cold God energy isn't about being icy or standoffish. It's not like fake stoicism, and it's certainly not like any sort of like alpha try-hard posturing. It's simple outcome independence. Your state stays unchanged. You stay in your own reality. Approval, interruption, challenge, irrelevant. The less you react, the more magnetic you become. And in a culture where people are conditioned, like trained like circus animals to engage, explain, appease, relinquish control, non-reactivity is rebellion. This cold God energy I'm talking about, it's not a tactic. It's an act of spiritual defiance against the performative social script. Stop chasing. Stay radiating. You remain at the cause end of things in the environment, not the effect end of things in the environment. So let's zoom out here for just a second, because for most people, that moment when the dude puts his hand on your shoulder, that interruption, that's just the apex of a much deeper pattern. And it starts long before. It starts the second that you walk into the venue. What happens? You walk in, you scan the room, your mind starts racing. Who should I talk to? What if they think I'm weird? What'll I say? What if I run out of things to say? So what do? You hover. You observe. You hesitate. Should I go? Should I go? Oh, it's not the right time. Is it the right time? Your posture kind of shrinks a little bit. Your energy shrinks a lot. And perhaps finally, you build up the temerity to speak and do an approach. And as you do so, your voice kind of lilts up at the end of every sentence. How's it going? Well, seeking rapport, seeking approval. Your eyes are constantly scanning their faces, looking for reactions. Is it going well? Does she like me? Am I doing good? And, when the conversation hits like a little lull, when her eyes maybe drift, maybe she looks at her phone, when that dreaded interruption happens, what do? You panic. You start grasping for straws. Ultimately, you react. That's social death. Social death doesn't always come from being ignored. It doesn't even come always from being rejected. It comes from abandoning your own frame, okay? It comes from the moment that you start to be at the effect end of things, like getting affected by things in the environment, like a little leaf in the wind getting knocked around, and the moment you stop being at the cause end of things in the environment. So enter freedom from outcome. Now, what does that term freedom from outcome, what does that actually mean? It's certainly not some like woo-woo Zen bullshit. It's a tactical operating system for social success. Most people are, they're running like approval OS 1.0. Did they respond well? Did they laugh at my little joke? Did I win their approval? Did they like it? Look, their reaction is a terrible fucking metric. Now, you might say, well, Jeff, it seems like a pretty damn good metric to me. If they liked it, it worked. If they didn't like it, it didn't work. Well, the problem with using that as a metric, their response, is there's simply too much randomness. You don't know who you're approaching before you approach them. There could be a number of things going on. They could be just having a bad day. They're not in the fucking mood. You could approach some woman and her husband's standing right there she's in love with. Again, you don't know who you're approaching. So when you look to their reaction as a metric of success or failure, you're not socializing. You're fucking performing. You're engaging in codependence. It's emotional slavery. Cold God energy flips that script completely because your success is now defined internally. It's based upon 3 criteria. Did I approach with confidence? Did I express my intentions authentically? And did I amuse myself? If you satisfy all 3 of those criteria, it's a success. Win, lose, or draw. It's a success. Their reaction is irrelevant. It's just data. It has 0 power over your state at all. And it's kind of an interesting paradox because the less you give a shit about their response, the more they feel drawn to you. That's fact, because neediness is the most unattractive characteristic of all. It really is. Human beings, we instinctively chase the elusive. So validation seekers repel. Sovereign energy attracts. They feel it immediately. That stillness, that steadiness, your complete fucking indifference to outcome. That's cold God energy. When you embody freedom from outcome, you don't pick up women, you attract chemistry. You don't win friends, you draw allies to yourself. You stop chasing and you start choosing. But let's be real. Right now, you probably understand this. You're watching this video, you're nodding along. Oh, this makes sense. I'll work on this. And quite frankly, that's the exact reason you keep losing. Because there's a difference between knowledge and knowing. Understanding is not transformation, okay? Nodding along to the video is not change. You don't need more insight. You need to take action. Because every night that you walk into that venue right now, your mind starts racing, those validation-seeking reactions take over again, and every single night that you don't fix this, it's going to get worse. Your instincts calcify, your confidence erodes, and it's a spiral. This isn't a game anymore. You're either building this type of cold God energy right now, or you're reinforcing social death. So here's the move. Click the link in the description. Join the program. Train in this for real. You're not spending, you're investing in freedom, in never feeling this social slavery again. Or, of course, you can keep thinking, keep hesitating. You can wake up in 5 years wondering why the hell everyone else passed you by. Click the link. Fix this. Be the cause. So, how do you actually build cold God energy? Well, it's not a mindset. It's a behavior pattern. You certainly don't sit there chanting to yourself, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. You got to prove you don't care by how you act. And the single most powerful behavior is self-amusement. When you go up, you smile, but not for them, for you. That smile, that little smirk on your fucking face, it's not a social offering. It's not, please like me. If I smile, will you like me? It's an internal signal. I'm the prize. I'm enjoying this. I'm a hilarious fucking genius. Like most dudes, quite frankly, when I see them out, they're outsourcing their amusement to other people, right? If she laughs, I'm funny. If they clap, I'm charismatic. Wrong. You laugh because you're fucking laughing. You smile because you're feeling it. If they join you, cool. If they don't, whatever. On boot camp, we do a drill, the 3-step execution loop. Step 1, approach first. If you're hesitating, should I go? Should I go? You've already lost. That's a reactive behavior. You're waiting for permission. You're waiting for it to be right. Cold gods grant permission. They don't seek it. Step 2, express yourself authentically. Once you're actually in there talking to somebody, say what's on your mind. Even if it's awkward. Even if it's absurd. Even if it's a bit forward. Especially then. Maybe you look at him, you're like, damn, you look like trouble. Personally, I enjoy trouble. Or perhaps, God damn, you're fucking killing it tonight. I love your look. It's hot. Again, not what you should say, what you want to say. 3, you amuse yourself independently. Their reaction is simply data. It's neutral. They loved it, data. They hated it, data. They walked away, data. Your state, untouched. Another thing that we train on program is to hold eye contact, right? Stand in front of people, square up, look them in the eye. Not to intimidate them, not to win, just to signal presence, right? Like, I see you. I choose to stay. Your vocal tonality, you should be mindful of that. You want it to be slow and deliberate. Validation seekers, they'll speed up, right? You want to slow everything down. Let the moment breathe. In terms of like the proximity and distance between you and the other person, yeah, you want to be on like kind of the edge of personal space, but the main thing is that you own your space. You don't lean into theirs. Even maybe you lean back slightly. You let them meet you in the middle. You invite them into that middle space. You can collaborate there. The goal with all this stuff that I just described, your internal state becomes untouchable, and your external signals reflect that. You stop broadcasting, please validate me, and start radiating, enjoy my vibe or get the fuck from around me. Again, you want to become the cause, not the effect. And this is where that cold God ascension truly happens. You got to find something funny after every single interaction, even if it didn't go well. In fact, especially if it didn't go well. When they react poorly, you laugh. When the whole shit gets derailed, you laugh. I mean, I remember recently I was out in Austin, Texas, and my assistant and I were talking to these two young women, and it was going pretty well. And my buddy, the girl he was talking to, said, my boyfriend cheated on me. And he said, you deserve to get cheated on. And she's like, oh, that's hilarious. She thought it was funny. And then her friend overheard this, like, what did you just say to my friend? He's like, he said I deserve to be cheated on. And she's like, I dare you to say that again. If you say that again, I'm going to slap you in the face. And he's like, choose your words very carefully. Choose your words very carefully. And so my buddy's like, she deserved to get cheated on. And this girl cocks back and goes, and just slaps him full force in the face. Like, it sounded like a gunshot. Like literally, it was like that Dana White slap boxing shit. It was like, pop. And now, granted, she's like 4'11", so he's not like physically harmed, but you can see he's like pissed. He's like, and he simply goes over to the bouncer, and he's like, who's standing right there and kind of saw the whole thing. He's like, excuse me, this young lady slapped me full force in the face right now. And the bouncer's like, dude, you guys got to go. And they're like, they like laugh as they're getting like kicked out. And I say to the bouncer, I'm like, yo, did you see that? That was crazy. He's like, just get away from me. Like, you're making my job difficult. Just go. And so my buddy and I were like, dude, that was fucking crazy. Like, all right, what's next? A lot of people, if that should happen to them, it would destroy their whole night. Hell, it might destroy their whole week. So no matter what happens, you laugh. Why? Because you're never outsourcing your validation to begin with, right? The humor is not defensive. I'm laughing to hide the frown within. It's sovereign. It says, these people's reactions are just weather patterns. I'm the sky. Unreactivity is the new charisma. We live in a culture where everybody's performing. When you're out there scanning to see if people like you, it's very easy to forget. Everybody else is doing the same shit. Everybody else is, do I look cool? Do they like me? Am I fitting in? They're all thinking the same thing. So when they meet somebody who isn't scanning, when they meet somebody whose validation is clearly internal, it's rare. It's fascinating because they never see it. It's magnetic. Unreactivity signals power, authenticity, and abundance. The less that you give a shit about being noticed, the more impossible you become to ignore. And why is that? Because you're doing the one thing that nobody else dares to, fundamentally not giving a fuck about being ignored. That makes people curious. It makes them think, what does he have that I'm missing? Cold God energy. So let's call out what's really going on here. You're not afraid of talking to people or approaching them. You're afraid of what might happen afterwards, right? The awkward pause, the rejection. But fear thrives on validation dependency. If you're still tethered to other people's approval, every no feels like death. Outcome independence slices right through that shit. Their reactions become nothing more than data. right? Up, not a match. Cool. Rejection only exists if you're trying to avoid it. I'm going to say that again. Rejection only exists if you're trying to avoid it. If your mission is to get people's approval, you can lose. If your mission is internal alignment and authenticity, you can't lose. Like, I'm not here to win you over. I'm here to find resonance. Social interaction simply becomes screening for chemistry, right? Not chasing approval. Now, let's be very clear here, though. Unreactive does not mean oblivious. Quite the opposite, in fact. Cold God energy is actually hyper-aware. You read cues. You notice little shifts in the emotional energy. However, the difference is you choose your response. Respectful, unwavering, right? I see what you're doing. I'm just not playing your game. Like, that's real power, not fake numbness, embodied choice. So let's paint a future picture here. A future where you've been through the fire, you've been through the awkwardness, the rejections, all the tests. Now the new normal hits different. Where you once overthought every move. Should I say this? Will they like it? Now you just move without thought. The conversations just flow. The jokes land, or they don't, and you still don't give a shit. Your presence just fills the room effortlessly. You're not doing charisma anymore because you have become it. Basically, you're like, look, I'm not here to get a reaction. I'm here because I am. People start to orbit you. Not because you chased, not because you tricked them into liking you, but simply put, because emotional stability is very, very attractive. You're no longer at the effect. Now you're at the cause. And all those old spirals, the overthinking, the did I say the wrong thing? Why didn't they laugh? All that shit, gone. It's been now replaced by a calm, confident magnetism, right? A quiet power that doesn't spike or dip based on the social weather patterns. They like me, cool. They don't, who gives a shit? Your mood, your validation, it's all internal. It's unshakable. It's unbothered. That's cold God energy. And once you cross into this reality, you will never go back, okay? You're going to be like, why did I act like that? Like, literally, you'll look back, it'll just like, what the hell was I thinking? Why would I ever want to behave like that? Ever. It'll seem like a nightmare that you had a long time ago. The thing is, this cold God energy, it isn't a tactic. It's an identity. It's not tips or tricks or fake bullshit. It's simply dropping the need for validation completely. So if you're tired of reacting, of chasing scraps of attention, of overthinking all the time, this is your invitation. Click the link in the description, join the program, become untouchable. Cold God energy, it's not pretend confidence. It is competence-backed confidence, forged by actual skill. You're not going to overcome fear by avoiding it. You do it by facing it and transcending it. Again, this is not for the avoidant. It's for action takers. It's for people who see challenge and choose it. Every rep, every awkward moment is just sharpening that outcome independence like a blade. Stop being at the effect end of things. Become the cause. Or keep desperately reacting. It's your movie. Wouldn't you rather direct it? This has been Jeffy, and I'll see you on the inside.
The Jeffy Infield Bootcamp program is world class. I'm very satisfied with the results I've been getting from my past 2 boot camps that I've taken this year. I can't wait to take my 3rd one. I'm ready for it again. And yeah, if you're on the fence about it, don't be. This is worth the investment. For me, what I've really gotten out of the program is being able to express myself authentically in social interactions. And that's something that I've always been struggling with. And I can finally now say that I am completely confident in going up to people and just being myself fully without apology.